I also founded the Reviving Patriotic Values Initiative, RPVI. It's an NGO. The purpose is to help Nigerians develop patriotism. We don't have any option. This is our country. People look at me and some people laugh like, you're crazy. People are messing up the country here, trying to build. And like, really, when I finished university several years back, we sat in the hostel in Lufthansa. My friends were asking, what are you going to do? So we were asking ourselves. This one said, I'm going to US, I'm going to Canada, I'm going to UK, I'm going to South Africa. I said, I'm sitting back in Nigeria to repair Nigeria. And they're like, this is like 2000, 2001. Like, sit back in Nigeria to repair Nigeria. Are you kidding? Then one of us said, leave him. He believes in what he's saying.
Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, rabbi shrah li sadri, wa yassir li amri, wa uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I believe it's only ideal we start by apologizing for our long absence. Honestly, it's just what it is. But however, while we were absent, we were deliberating on how to serve it better and more efficient. And that's why we're here today doing a video podcast, because we believe it's better you hear directly from the horse's mouth. You get the message better and clearer. For those who don't know what we do, we are Attareeq. What we do is simple. We shine the spotlight on high-flying Muslim professionals and businessmen, and also use our engagement with them to provide the indirect mentorship to young Muslims out there who are looking to find their feet, either in their career, businesses, or whatever they're choosing to do. And today, on our first episode of our podcast, we have with us one of Lagos' finest, a medical doctor, a teacher, and a performance coach. He's none other than Dr. Fatai Olajobi. Assalamu alaikum, doctor.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's an honor having you grace our maiden episode.
Thank you. It's an honor being invited to your program too.
I followed you for a while, and I must say you're doing well out there. In fact,
Thank you.
When I was thinking of who should be the first guest on this podcast, I couldn't think of another person but you. And I'm happy you are here today. I mean, just one message and you accepted our invite. Thank you very much for being here today.
You're welcome.
So let's start with this. Tell us who you are. Introduce yourself to us.
Okay, so I'm Dr. Olajobi. That's my brand name. I'm Fatai Olajobi. I'm a trained medical doctor. I read medicine from the University of Lagos. And after practicing for a while, private practice, government practice, I was temporarily at the Federal Medical Center in Ebute Metta. Before I joined Lagos State Civil Service, I worked at General Hospital Mushin before I was moved to General Hospital Randall. And in 2013, I resigned to face business fully. Presently, I am more into teaching, and I don't mean in medical school. I teach mathematics, I teach public speaking, financial intelligence for young people, public speaking, self-esteem grooming. I teach Quran, I teach Tajweed, I teach Arabiya too, and a host of others. I also do trainings, and on the side, I work in the clinic about once a week.
Oh, you have a lot to do. That's fantastic. Okay, so tell us a bit about your growing up, your background. What was it like for you? What was growing up like for you?
Interesting. I grew up in Oshodi. Yes, Oshodi in Lagos here. I come from a humble family. Father, mother, it's a polygamous family. Not respected. I'm the first from my mom, or fifth from my dad. Quite interesting growing up. My mom was the bookish woman who made me to like book the way I like book today. I mean, students that come across me wonder, what kind of person is this guy? Because I just make them read or make them study. My kids know that if I'm at home, most of them grow up now. They are in university now. For those that are teenagers, everyone young, who is in primary 3 now, is at home. If you are not doing house chores, you should be busy reading books or maybe playing. I don't have a TV in my house. Yes.
Wow.
It's been over 10 years now. I've not had a TV in my house. There was a TV in my house growing up. My mom would show up at the door of the sitting room. Fatai, come. And then she would drag me to her room to read. And I would sleep off. I didn't like reading then. Until when I was in those days, secondary school was from 1 to 5. We were the last set of that education system. When I was in from 4, that was when I started studying on my own. But before then, mom would force me to read. And I used to wonder, why would you not allow me to watch TV? My other siblings are watching TV was the problem. Well, now I know better, that it made me a better person. And now researchers are showing a lot about what the screen does to young people. So growing up was interesting for me. I learned a lot of things at home, and I learned a lot of things too on the streets. Like I said, I grew up in Oshodi. So you walk to school, you see a lot on the road. Or you get to school, you see a lot of people and different ways of life. So we were, like I said, a humble family, and I'm proud to have been from that kind of family. I loved reading school books more than storybooks. I read storybooks. I read a lot of school books. I had a very reserved personality growing up. But now, maybe still reserved. I can talk a lot now. When I was much smaller, I spoke a lot. But when I was in secondary school, I was very reserved, very afraid to speak in public. But now I can speak in large gatherings. So, pretty much, that was how growing up was.
So we can say, it's safe to say that growing up has shaped you into the person you are today.
Very well. It has shaped me to who I am today, and part of it is the courage I have outside, and then the way I see life, the street smartness. I may not have developed if I didn't grow up in that place I grew up. Yeah.
Okay, so before we go on, tell us more about yourself. You're a man of many caps. Nuance Concept, Brain Educationist, the Outliers, and several others. Tell us more about all those.
Okay, so yes, someone said I have ADHD. That's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or AD. HD, hyperactivity disorder. I'm restless. I run most of these organizations with my wife. Neurons is not such a busy, it's low-key. It's a performance consultancy organization, work with all kinds of organizations. We look into how career people can be at their best and give the best to their organization and their customers to increase return on investment, ROI. Then the Outliers School is a faith-based school in Surulere, where I would say, like I tell people, it's the fastest growing school in Surulere. It's essentially, we started it by chance. My youngest child, then, who is now in the university, was finding it difficult to learn, and we thought it's inappropriate. We're paying fairly good money for his education, but he was not learning. It was, I think, 4 year plus then. It was doing poorly in school and couldn't engage well. Though a medical doctor, I was spending some of my time after medical practice to teach students, and a lot of students were doing well. It was like the Midas touch for me. When I teach, I take up a student that is not learning well, and then in a short time, the child starts learning well, and you're wondering what's happening. So if I could do that, and then my wife is a counselor, an educational psychologist, and then this is our one child, our fourth child, by the way, who is not learning well, what's happening? So we pulled him out of school, and then we decided to homeschool him, along with two of his cousins. One of them was also not learning well, the same way. And so in a term, we wanted to teach them from April to July and then return them back to school. But in that one term, they learned what they didn't learn in a whole year. And we thought, why don't we just continue this? So we continued homeschooling them. A room in our office in Educationist is an educational consultancy firm. So, and then from there, it became, a school. And then now we have 3 centers, the preschool, the primary, and the secondary. That's the school. Attareeq is an educational consultancy firm, which I started with my wife. The school I started with my wife. Attareeq started with my wife, who is a counselor and educational psychologist. And we work with schools, we work with families, we work with students that are learning or learning well or not learning well. We do things around learning. We believe every child can be whatever they choose to be. And that's what we do at Attareeq. We run Scribes and Orators, which we just finished last year. It's about communication skills for young people. We also do, it's a 1-week program. We also do Wonders with Numbers. It's a math clinic for young people also, 2nd term holiday. And 3rd term holiday, we do Summer Camp Nigeria. It's the biggest summer camp in Nigeria. It's been on for 14 years now. 13 years.
Wow.
Yes, 13 years now.
That's lovely.
And that's Attareeq Services. I also founded the Reviving Patriotic Values Initiative, RPVI. It's an NGO. The purpose is to help Nigerians develop patriotism. We don't have any option. This is our country. People look at me and some people laugh like, you're crazy. People are messing up the country here, trying to build. And like, really, when I finished university several years back, we sat in the hostel in Lufden. My friends were asking, what are you going to do? So we were asking ourselves. Oh, this one said, I'm going to US, I'm going to Canada, I'm going to UK, I'm going to South Africa. I said, I'm sitting back in Nigeria to repair Nigeria. And they're like, this is like 2000, 2001. Like, sit back in Nigeria to repair Nigeria. Are you kidding? Then one of us said, leave him. He believes in what he's saying. And of course, then it's over 20 years now. We're still repairing Nigeria. And we're not going to give up. Mm-hmm. So that's what RPVI is for. We adopt school. There's a school we've adopted. And we are open to scale it up. In 2021, during COVID, 2020, the students that wrote to WAEC in that year, in that school, senior high school, we go there to teach them 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And the teachers teach them in the morning, we teach them in the afternoon, tutorials. We get volunteers. And then by the time they wrote to WAEC, they had 100% pass rate, physics, chemistry, biology. Math was, I think, 97%. English was 95% or so.
Wow,
it's not, beautiful. It's not what we taught them really. It was the environment we created. We made them believe in themselves. And we're hoping that if everybody thinks about what they can do for the country, regardless of what the government is doing, one day, Nigeria is going to be a better place. There's so much Nigeria has. So that's why RPVI is there. So I also volunteer with some other NGOs. So
is this why you transitioned from medical practice to teaching? Or were you some midlife crisis or what? What is it
it wasn't a midlife crisis. At quarter to 40, so I was going to be 40 in 2013, and I thought, a fool at 40 is a fool forever. I love medical practice. In fact, if you get to Randall General Hospital and you ask them, for some of the people that worked with me, I was a star. I'm not capping it. Mm-hmm. I had a title, Agba of Randall, because any patient that comes, I will attend. I will do great stuff with patients. But I saw that there's something I do better. And the fact that Nigeria needs to be rebuilt. I thought that, though I love medical practice, there's something I love more, I find easier, and a lot of people are not doing well in it. And that's helping the young people to find their path in life. I saw a lot of people in medical practice. We get to work in the morning and they're cursing. A medical doctor saying, what rubbish job is this? What God-forsaken job is this even? Will they kill me? Medical doctor that somebody is envying. So some people probably did not choose it. Or even if they chose it, they didn't understand what it was going to entail. So I thought if I can help people find a path early in life and help people see, that's why I'm a coach and youth coach more. Career coaching, if you can help people see what they should be doing. And if you do things for the sake of doing, I just love doing it. Regardless of the money you're getting from it. It's funny, it looks hard, but the truth is the things you do without thinking about the money are the things you will do well and then you eventually get money from. So this is why it's education more.
So it's more of passion that made you transition.
It's passion and calling.
So while you were transitioning, weren't you scared of what if you don't go the way you planned? What if it goes south? Like, how do you handle that fear of the unknown?
Yeah. So the unknown, this evening is unknown. This night is unknown. Tomorrow is unknown. Even if I stay in full-time hospital medical practice, it's still unknown tomorrow. I have friends that are still there. They see me, they envy me. Like, if you feel you're not enjoying this thing, why don't you change? Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Some of them want more money. Some of them want to be happy. But they're doing the same thing that when they get to, doesn't give them happiness. So for me, it's about, I love doing this thing. And I had some feelings that if I face it well, I would do well. Then I didn't know as much as I know now. But now I know that anything you choose to do, just learn how to do it and start doing it. You will get better at it and you will keep getting better. It will keep growing if you don't kill it. And it's the same thing with business. I do business coaching and I tell people, if you face any business, it will grow. If you face it and keep doing what you need to do, keep nurturing it. If you don't kill it, and the way people kill their businesses is they start taking from the profit. They don't know. And then when they finish exhausting the profit, they start taking from the capital and the business dies. So it's about the passion, it's a calling, and the fear of the unknown it's not real. You know, when you say fear, it's false expression appearing real. Just give it a try. If you don't give it a try, you can't know. I told my wife, I said, don't worry. If it doesn't work, we school our children. I can teach anything. As a doctor, I teach technical drawing. I taught my son technical drawing when I was in secondary school.
Wow, that's
fantastic. And he was one of the best.
Wow.
When he talk about drawing because of what I taught him. Wow, and I still teach it.
That's fantastic.
So it's about life. In life, you just have to take bold step. If you must do something, just do it. What is most sure is death. Every other thing is not sure. So we must try, we must give it a try. So that's why I would rather face the fear than run away from it.
So transitioning is not easy. But before you transition to teaching, did you take up any teachings, like education or certificate or whatever, or you just went straight to it and then?
Yeah, I actually did some short programs in. I took some short trainings, even though, like I said, it's like the Midas touch. It's grace, God's grace, because I've been teaching since I was in class 5. I started teaching my classmates. And things that my teacher will not be able to teach them, I teach them, they get it. And then when I was in the medical school, I was teaching this tutorial center or that tutorial center. And I've inspired and taught a lot of people that, too many to count. They've transitioned from struggling in school to doing very well, excelling, and doing a course that they've never thought they would be able to do in their lives. So I started teaching, and even when I was in full-time hospital practice, I was teaching on the side. And so by the time I left full-time medical practice into business and doing some medical practice on the side, I had some small teaching jobs, even though, I must tell you, as soon as I left, a bigger teaching job came that was even paying me. I was doing 2 hours, 4 days a week. That was paying me more than I was earning as a senior medical doctor. So, you see, fear is not real.
So you think teaching is just your calling?
It's a calling.
As someone that has made career transitions, as a consultant and a coach, there are people out there who want to make career transitions also, but they are scared of the unknown. They are, they are doing what they are doing. They like it, but they've realized that they're better off doing this thing or that thing. But they want to make the transition, but they don't know how to go about it. They're scared. What if they don't go the way they plan? What if they're not able to meet their financial needs? So if they come to you, what advice or tips will you give them that will make their transition seamless and also in the end, in the long run, successful?
Okay, I think that what's most important is for them to be sure of what they want to do. If they are sure of what they want to do, because you see, effort is rewarded by God. Some people say by the universe. It's not, people pay too much attention to the result of what they do. But what is most important is the effort you make. So if you want to transition, find out what you want to do. Be sure that's what you want to do. Be sure you're not wanting to do it for money. Most people want to do things for money. So they transition into it and money doesn't come, they get frustrated. You transition into it and that's what you want to do. If the money doesn't come, you keep doing it till the day money will come. That's why people talk about passion a lot. But passion is overrated. Because people will say they have passion for it. They are not really passionate. It's because they think there's money in it or they can use it to fill in the space. So people come to interview my school and somebody writes in the entry form that, why do you want to teach here? Oh, I'm passionate about teaching. And I look at them and I say, so you will love to die as a teacher? No! Is the person passionate?
Of course, the passion is not there.
You should be ready to die as a teacher. So the person should know, this is what I really want to do. If you know this is what you really want to do, not because of the money in it, then you need to ask yourself, are you willing to do it for free? If it's something you can do for people for free, then maybe that's what you should be doing. Then, do you know how to do it? Because like I said, if you go into it because of the money, it may be tough when there's no money. But if you go into it because you know you can create solution to problems, that's value. People pay for value. So when you first start it, you may not be making so much money. But as you create more value to people or for people, they will be willing to pay you more. And so the person should start doing it on the side, like a side hustle. You don't spend all the time on your job. So have some time to work on that thing. Maybe the person will be volunteering with an organization or somebody who does it. See, I tell people a lot, young people, they are much in a hurry to make money. Their parents that build houses, they didn't build house after working for 1 or 2 years. If you do Yahoo or you do money ritual, you can do that, you can achieve it. Well, you know it's illegitimate. So you want to do what is right, it's going to take time to grow. And when it grows, there will be a time the money will be too much, you'll be afraid. I don't have too much money yet too. But I know the way it's going to come. If I keep giving value. So the person should do it on the side while it's still in full-time job and then keep doing till it gains more experience and knowledge and also start earning some money. The person may also want to save so that when he first starts that new career, if you are not earning, because you may not be earning much. I've seen people that have left big jobs for smaller jobs because they feel that smaller job is going to be fulfilling and later it's going to give them so much more. It's a sacrifice. So you save so that when you get to that smaller job that don't be paying you much, you will still have some savings that can take care of your bill. And then by the time you now get deep into it, you start earning much more, then you'll be fine. It can be very tough. It was very tough for me. It wasn't like this for me. It was very tough. And maybe when I resigned, I moved full-time business. The first project we did in Lagos, we did in Abuja. Lagos, it flopped. Abuja, that one, we just barely broke even. Yes, we didn't make a loss, but we didn't make profit too. But that one in Lagos, it flopped. So like, are you sure this is what you should be doing? I said, I am sure. And then we kept doing it. And then I don't think it was up to 6 months, 12 months before things changed again. It is that passion and understanding what you're doing.
Now, what have you found most challenging in running all these businesses? And how have you circumvented those challenges?
I'll say the most challenging has been human capital management. Yes, and development. Let's say human capital development, because the management is part of development. There's the people that are working with you. People they're short-sighted. All they come into the job for is the salary. But they also forget that if they don't do what they need to do, they can be laid off the job. I don't find it difficult to lay people off job. I don't find it. But I find it difficult to hire. My team, they know me. They say, Dr. Olajobi, but this guy is good now. He's good. But the way he was talking at that interview, I'm not sure his mind will be with us. So when I hire based on 3 things. Number 1, core skills. So if it's a job, the person knows how to do the job. Core skills, he knows it, fine. Number 2, soft skills, communication skills, team management, team building, and all that. 3 is attitude. Attitude takes about 60 to 70% for me. Somebody is very good, but has bad attitude. I will not hire him. I will not hire, no matter how good he is. Oh, he can do this, but he comes and he's looking at me. I'll be paying your bills, man. I'll be paying your salary, and you'll be talking to me like, you know, this one, I try to give you explanation on something. I say, no, it will not work like that. I'm the one that cut the short. He will pay the piper, dictates the tune. So you cannot come to interview and you're talking to me like that already. I cannot hire that kind of person. So, but if somebody comes, it doesn't know so much, but it's like, okay, I'm willing to work hard. Okay, what are the things I need to do? You will need to do this. I don't know this, but I can learn it. Look at this. I've done this before. When I was here, I learned this and I added value. Okay, attitude is good. So people also will, at interview, they will tell you, impress you. They know me. Maybe some people have gone to check my page on social media. They see that I'm patriotic. So they will tell me, Nigeria. So when he sits down, the person will most likely get the job. And then he comes in and I'm wondering that, this guy is not truly patriotic. Because anybody that is patriotic must do his job well.
Of course.
The job you're doing, whether they pay you well or not, it doesn't matter. You agree to that pay. You can say, but it doesn't take you. Why did you accept it? If you're patriotic, do the best of that job so that the profit there can increase and then your salary can also increase. So people, they work excitedly when they want to get a job. When they start working on the job, they don't do the best and they are wondering why you're pushing them, and you must push people. So that's the most challenging, getting people that of quality to match what I want to do on the jobs.
Okay. You've talked about performance coaching, one of the things you do. In brief, what's performance coaching? Like, what is it about?
Okay, so performance coaching is how people perform at their job, on their careers. And the coaching is trying to coach them to help them find their path. You know, sometimes as a coach, even on the field, some of the players don't know what they are best at. It's the coach that tells, this guy will be better on this side, this guy will be better on this side, and the formations and all that. So performance coaching is about coaching career people on how they can work best on their job and get the best result. And the focus most times for us is we want people to see themselves as the company, as the industry, not the company where you work.
Because the
employee should see himself as the employer. See your office, if your desk where you work, see it as your company. You're the one that runs it. So whatever you do to make that job better, even though it's going to pay the company, but it's going to pay you. If that company is reasonable, they're going to add more to your take home. And if you're not reasonable, one day you're going to leave because you're going to be attracted by those that appreciate your value. But for a lot of people feel, how much are they paying me? They don't even appreciate me, and so they don't do well. But they're wasting their lives. So I say to people, when you work on a job that you don't like, you're wasting your life. And because if you work on a job, even if you don't like the job, just do your best. Till the day you feel, I want to leave. When you want to leave, you're going to get something fantastic. But people just feel, but there are no jobs. There are jobs. In this country, is a myth. It's not real that there's unemployment. It's unemployability that exists. So unemployment is there are no jobs. But the truth is, if you go on Google, vacancies in Nigeria, you will see several vacancies. I get notifications and I'm like, there are jobs. It is the people that are qualified for that jobs that don't exist. That's unemployability. People are not employable. They think because they have certificates, they should get job. No, that's not how life is. So performance coaching is about how people can fit best into their jobs and grow to their best capacity.
So as a performance coach, what tips can you give to people like us who are looking to up the performances in their choosing paths?
Okay, so the tips here, number one is everybody should have goals. Long-term goals, short-term goals. Break your long-term goals into short. Some people don't have goals. Somebody came for an interview and we wrote in the entry form, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Say, God knows best. Come on.
That's
If God knows,
fantastic.
why did you go to school? Because you went to school because you think life will be better by the time you graduate from school.
Yeah, of course.
You can get a good job, or you can start a business or something. If you know God knows that, you shouldn't have gone. But because you also know that you're going to do better in life if you go to school. So a lot of people don't set goals. So what they should do, you want to up your performance, set goals. You enter a job, set a goal, set an exit date also. 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, depending on what you want to gain from it. Most people want to work just to earn a living, to survive. But people should work to thrive in life, get better. By the time I'm leaving this job, I want to be good enough to get another job. Me, I'm a speaker, so when I'm going to train people, I'm going to make every speech I make is a pitch. Everywhere I go to speak, I speak in such a way that people there can also come and approach me to say, oh, can you come and speak at our own event too? So when you're going to workshop, you want to work so well that people identify what you're doing, or the people that you're working with identify how good you are, want to increase your salary, or if they don't understand how good you are, people will identify you outside and put you for a better opportunity. And that's how it is. That's how it always is. So this, set the goals and then work towards the goals. Any training you need to get to where you are, get the training. There are a lot of free trainings now. And then just keep getting trainings. Keep any trainer you think is around. And if you're not too sure, or maybe this way, fantastic. Look at those two things. I mean, getting trainings.
I think another thing
also,
again is mentorship.
Yes,
will help you.
mentorship is also very, very good. It's very important. Because sometimes your mentors will tell you, oh, you can do this, you can do this. Oh, go and do this, go and do that. Because it's like climbing the shoulders of giants. You can see what you won't see ordinarily.
Of course.
And in fact, you may even see even better than the giant, because the giant is carrying you on their shoulder. And you can even see ahead because they've passed through it. They're telling you what they experienced, and then you can, use that to leverage so that you don't have to go through all the troubles they went through.
Yeah, of course. Hello viewers, I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. I'm sure it has been very fantastic, and I'm sure you must have learned a lot of things that will actually help you in achieving your goals. However, we need to take a break now. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stop. In the meantime, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Attareeq platform. Just search for us on YouTube, Attareeq platform, and then follow us. And so, of course, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that for subsequent episodes, you get notified. Thank you. Welcome back to our show. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. And as you can tell, our guest has been doing justice to the question and very interesting. I'm sure you also enjoyed this many parts as we ask very more critical questions about kids and parenting. So now, Doc, my question is this. You have experience working with kids, weak kids that are struggling academically. From your experience, what insights have you gained that you can share with parents of such kids to help their kids to achieve their potential and become better? You can talk from the point of view of academics, psychology, nutrition, social, and also privileges and exposure.
Okay. Working with kids that are weak academically, I would also look at students that are weak in their emotions or weak in their morals. Yes, it's essentially about growing up. And I tell parents that the first thing is to look inwards. You cannot blame any child for his weakness. You can blame university students, undergraduates, for not doing well in their academics. You can't blame primary school students, even secondary school students, except maybe when they are in senior school. Because we are the ones that can guide them. So, you see, it's a child that is doing well. It is the home and the school. The home doesn't know anything about learning psychology of learning. The school knows about learning psychology. And so the school is supposed to guide the home, the families. And so the school has the primary jurisdiction for learning when it comes to how learning occurs. But parents, of course, they come in the area of taking their children to the school that fits in their value and their ambitions for the children. So, and then they also come in the areas of the early learning of the child. Also come in terms of genetics, because a child that is weak in academics, it is either because the child is not exposed, but the child has a learning disability. So if a child is not exposed, it is just to expose the child. Okay, we have in my school, for example, when students do entrance exam and they fail, the child that's supposed to be in primary 3, he fails. What we do, if we see that the age is much, and we don't want the child to be set back because of the age, what we do is we recommend that the parents should enroll that child for a remedial program. So we do about 2 weeks or 1 month intensive program for that child to bring the child up to par with his peers or our peers, and then he takes the entrance exam. If he does well, fairly well, then we enroll the child to that level. But if the child doesn't do well, the child may need to go back to the lower class. And then we hope that the child may be able to move on later. So exposure is a major thing. And if we see that it's learning disability, then it means the child may need to, if we suspect the learning disability, we may need to send the child for assessment, learning assessment. So this is where educational psychologists will come in. So the child will need to see an educational psychologist so that they can assess and know the type of learning disability the child has. If the child has a learning disability, then we can also recommend intervention programs that we can do for that child so that child can start learning appropriately. Also, home is very big. And so I'm very big on what happens at home. House chores. Students that don't do house chores, they don't do as well as students that do house chores. In fact, there's an Harvard research, 75-year research, they discovered that students that do house chores, they do better in academic work, in school work, than those that don't do house chores. They discovered that they do well in external exams.
Oh,
they do better in external exams.
That's fantastic.
They follow them to career. Children that do house chores when they were small, they do better in their careers. In fact, finances, they do better. And so the parents should not think, oh, if I engage this child in house chores, he will not do well in academics. No, even with my own first child, it was when my wife insisted that this child must do more house chores that he started doing better in academics. So this is part of some of the things. Then screen. Some parents complain about their child not doing well in school, but what the child does after school is watch TV till he sleeps. In fact, I met a parent that we later discovered, because the child will be sleeping in school. We discovered child that was not up to 6 years old will be watching TV in the middle of the night. Screen is not good for the brain. Apart from the fact that it has its own neurological challenges, distraction, memory, and all other things. In fact, research was done, and they saw that when you do comprehension passage, they gave students comprehension passage with screen on computer and comprehension passage with pen and paper. And those that did pen and paper, they did far better than those that did on the screen. It has its own challenges. A lot of things. And then, so in a house that the child is watching TV throughout and playing game, and it's indoor, sedentary, not going out to play sports, kick ball or play table tennis or ride bicycle, that child may not do well. So these are the things we need to do. And then also, the child doesn't spend time even reading. They don't read to read for too long, but they should be taking a child that research was done, and they discovered that children that do more than 1 hour of screen in a day, they are not as smart as those that do more than 1 hour. I mean, those that do less than 1 hour of screen in a day. So that research was actually for the week, more than 7 hours in a week, and less than 7 hours in a week. Those that watch less than 7 hours, they are smarter than those that watch more than 7 hours. Meaning that sometimes you may say they are not watching on some days. They watch on some days and they watch more than 1 hour, but more than 1 hour. But at the end of the week, they are not watching more than 7 hours. They do better. So there are a lot of things that parents do, and it's not in the gene. I don't like it. I tell parents, if parents telling the teacher that, oh, don't worry, even I struggle with math. Don't worry. No. A child can excel in everything. Why does it happen that a child is learning 6 languages and there's no confusion? A child that's less than 6 is learning 6 languages, is speaking 6 languages, and there's no confusion. Children can learn anything. They have the capacity to be anything. We are the ones that slow them down. Every child is born a genius. There's no need for the child to be big. It's not like, oh, this child is not cut out for school. There's nothing like that. We are the one that made that child not to be cut out for school or not to excel in school. No, there's nothing like that. Oh, this child is good in math, is not good in English, or is good in English, not good in science. No, a child can be good in everything. It's a fact, and neuroscience is proving this more and more every day. So these are the things parents need to pay attention to when they want a child to get better.
Now, I don't know if you've heard recently, some countries are putting a ban on kids and their use of social media. You see them to a certain age and all of that. As an educator and a parent yourself, what is your advice when it comes to social media, internet, and kids, and also generally now for students? What advice will you give to parents, parenting advice to help them nurture their kids better?
Okay, so this is a very tricky area because now we're in the tech world and information age. We're big on information, and even some of our students do their exam and tests on devices. Well, it's overrated. I've not seen any child that uses tab 24/7 that is doing better than those that don't use tab. I've not seen it. In fact, during COVID, the result was very poor during COVID. And I saw that, for me, I saw students that I had who were not using device. They did better during that COVID period in their JAM and their WAEC than those that were hanging to too much of the tech. Because during COVID was when we had to do a lot of online learning. A lot of students were not really online learning. Some of them were on porn even. So what parents are supposed to do is help the children manage the time on devices. Whatever it is, even if it's assignment, if it's learning, they should not do more than 1 hour. Forget it. It's overrated. What if it's learning? What if it's game? Forget it. They should read books. Hardcore. They should carry hard cover. Print out and read books, not to read Kindle. What children need to do well. Then social media, when they are 13, most of these social media platforms, you can enroll your child. For me, when my kids, when they are 13, they open their emails, Facebook, and I do digital education for them. There's no need to hide them from this. And I don't get a phone for my child until you finish work, jam. You can get your phone. There's no phone. You get your phone and then you get your orientation before you get your phone. And whatever you now do after that is on you.
So why is that?
So because children cannot, in fact, some researchers are saying, what research has shown, neuroscience has shown is, a child 0 to 2 should not see screen at all. Then when they are from 0 to 6, they see like 30 minutes, thereabout, for learning, whatever it is. Then when they are more than that, whatever learning requires. But the truth is, learning, maybe assignments, maybe tests, fine. But what they should do more, they should take their books to read. What social media does, it slows people down. I don't see any child that learns really on social media. What it is waste time. And you know what? There's a slogan. Those who watch the news don't break the news. And those who break the news don't watch the news. And that's what you people say. If you want to break the news, you can't be watching news. How many times have you seen
you're on the field?
You're on the field doing stuff. Look at the child that got 1,580 in SAT. He got 800 perfect score in math. Then 780 in English. He said it was 4 a.m. He's awake studying. If you watch TV and he was using gadget too much, you think he would get that score? It's not possible. So those that achieve in life, they don't watch others. It is people that want to live average life or slow life that will be watching others or watching news. Or if you want the child to do well, reduce their screen time. The researchers are there. There's too much to say on this area.
This chat won't be complete if we don't talk about you and Islam. In what way has Islam influenced you, shaped your thinking, your orientation thought process, decision-making process, and all of that.
Okay, now, alhamdulillah, I grew up, in a Muslim home, and I understood the timing of the salat. But I struggled with praying salat until I entered university. So when I entered University of Lagos here, I'll go to the mosque to pray and wait. We had not started lectures like that. And then they would talk in the evening, and I started understanding. And I saw that there's more to life than becoming a doctor, because I was reading medicine. And in fact, for me, it was that understanding of Islam that made me appreciate the medicine I was studying. I didn't want to study medicine in the first instance. It was my dad, a blessed memory. May Allah forgive him and put him in Jannah. It was the one that insisted, and I don't regret it. I feel very grateful that he insisted I study medicine and like that. So I appreciated studying it after understanding the deen. And because Islam talks about time management a lot, that directs my time management as an individual and for career purposes. Also, because Islam talks about career, being excellent in anything you do. Because Islam said, if you're going to do anything, do the best of it. If you're going to kill the best way. Don't kill a ram and then slowly, no. Kill it straight. Anything you want to do it well. In fact, if you see, when you pray salat, you pray compulsory, you also pray what? Nawafi. When you fast compulsory, you also pray extra. When you do zakat, you can also do charity. If it's not compulsory. Zakat is not everyone that will do zakat. It's only people that have money up to a level. If you go for Hajj, it's not everyone that go for Hajj. But if you can go for Hajj is compulsory at least once in a lifetime. Then you do Umrah. It's not compulsory, but you go. So you see, I now put that into my work. That if I'm going to do job for when I was working, even now that I still work for people because I consult for people, I would rather do more than I bargain with the people. When you do that, there's no way you're not going to win the heart of the people you're working with. There's no way you won't get better as a person too. And then it's very unlikely that you'll have cheated the people you're working for or working with. Why no lil mutaffifin? Allah says, woe unto the defrauders. Those that when they collect from people, they collect full measure. But when they give, they don't give full measure.
They give half measure.
They give half measure. So people think that it's those that are selling rice alone. You sell rice, you pad it. On the Derika, you actually give the person half the Derika. You know why? You collect money for full Derika. It's cheating. That's what people think defrauding is. But when you work in a place and you've agreed to work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., but in the middle of your work, apart from your 1 hour of break, which you use for lunch or any other thing, you also spend like 1 hour again on Facebook and Instagram. And it's not part of your job. You just go randomly or you go out. I see people who are medical doctors, they're working with government. During the time of work, they leave work and go to their private clinic. Between 8 to 4, they're defrauding their firm. And they are not defrauding the organization, or they are defrauding themselves, because on the day of judgment, God is going to ask them. And you cannot pay back money. Because if you are supposed to be working in a place for 8 hours and you work 7 hours and you are collecting 80,000 salary, it means you have cheated that place 10,000 salary every month. That's how you do 7 hours every day. That's 10,000 naira. You work for 3 years there. 1 year is 12 months. That's 120k. Times 3, 360k. It means you are owing those people. How many people work in a place and they work for all the hours and they pay back the hours that they go out? People don't even understand. And the people don't understand, they think religion is only prayer or fasting. No, your work is your religion. So that shaped me. It has made me, when I work, I want to work. This last week, some students came to school. In fact, this week, some students came to. It's not extra pay. Those students that are weak. And I'm like, I tell my teachers, see, these people have paid. And if you have 20 students in the class, and 19 students are doing very well, one is not doing well, that one is 100% their family. How do we make that student get better? So some people will come. You have to work on them. And some parents feel we are doing too much. I'm serious. Some parents are even tell them that Nigerians are the shoe. No, we don't have. We are traveling. We are traveling during the holiday, and that's the only time we have to brush up that child. Because sometimes it will come at an extra cost if our teachers are not available and we have to get some from outside. So it's shaped me in this area to give more than. When I give more, I get more. Whatever goes around
Comes around.
And when you give, you get more. Yes, but people don't think about it. People just think it's I want to get. It's not about you want to get. You want to give. When you give, you get. When you give, you get. There's a new principle I'm teaching people now. I say there's a verse in the Quran that says that for those that do good is good. What's the other? And more good. So people that have, they get more. People that don't have, they don't get more. Can you imagine somebody who is rich? Likely, those people that are rich, if the child wants to do wedding, you see a friend that will say, I'll pay for that event center. Some will say, okay, I'm donating a car. Some will say, and at the end of the day, the man may not spend money. Yet he has. But the poor man that is struggling, his child wants to wed. Maybe some people will give some money. Some will even say, Mr. Alabaya, can you give me so? Because they think he now has money. That's why he wants to do wedding for his child now. And then people that don't really have, but they give support to their bosses. They get more from their bosses too. And that is in the mindset of abundance. These are things I have learned, that has shaped my work ethic. I work hard, and some people ask me, you don't rest? I rest. In fact, I sleep a lot sometimes. Yeah, but I work every day, almost every day. This is what has shaped my career, my work ethic.
Alhamdulillah. When you're seated now, I want you to go down memory lane and take a mental look at your journey so far. Do you think you are fulfilled? Are there things you could have done differently? And tell us your best memories.
Fulfillment is, for me, what I want to do, I do it. I just do it without fear. That's fulfillment. I may not have the kind of money I really want like that, but I'm fulfilled, I'm happy. When somebody sees me and says, oh, you were the one that made me study this course. You were the one that helped me. You taught me so when I went for work, I just blasted. I didn't even know it was that easy. Oh, what maths was hard for me before. You were the one that, I feel fulfilled. That money comes or not. But the truth is, when we come, it's very difficult for you to give value without money coming knocking. It's very difficult. I'm fulfilled, and I feel if I come again, I will do it again. Knowing what I know now, if I come to life again, I'll study medicine again and teach mathematics, physics, chemistry, and the things I teach. I'll do it again. And psychology, I do therapy, do coaching. I love it. I feel good. I see people that are almost breaking up their marriages, and then we just have a talk, and then the person is like, oh, really? I never thought about it like that. Okay. And then they mend their marriage. It's great. It's fulfilling. Whether it's paid or it's not paid, doesn't matter. Of course, I've done more unpaid than paid.
You're a man of ideas, I know that for sure. I know you have a lot on your sleeves. What should we expect from you in the future?
A lot. One of the things I'm likely to do next year.
Timing.
One of the things I'm going to do next year. I was running a clinic before, so I'm going back to it. Most likely next year. But now it's going to be community service, and then we're making the school bigger, and the patriotism drive will pushing it more. But I think one big one that I say jokingly, and I know it can happen, and if it happens, I don't mind going for it, is building a local government in Nigeria. What I mean is, if I get an opportunity to be chairman of a local government, I will go for it. But I know the terrain is not ripe yet. Because we look at Nigeria and what people concentrate too much on. When I spoke at a place, somebody said, Dr. we are too big for that. I said, I know what I can do. I'm too big. I know my age mates, they are presidents in some places. But the truth is, there's too much focus on presidency or the center. But we need to work on the grassroots. We need somebody to look at a local government and just run it for the fun of it and show people
what governance really is.
Yes, it will be run like, it will look as if it's a private setup, like a company. Because you see, there's a lot of money even in local government, but attention is too much on the president, and the president cannot even do much. They cannot do much. They spend a lot of money there, but they can't do much. If you want to repair the country, let us repair our local government, the grassroots. So maybe there's one of the things that we may, if life permits.
Inshallah. So if you had to give an advice to the Muslim community, particularly the youths, the Gen Zs, what would that be?
I would say they should build themselves. People concentrate too much on building the country. Everybody is like, the country is bad, it's bad. And then we look at, it's almost impossible to build this country, to rebuild it. But the problem is not the country. The problem is the individuals there. All of us should reshape ourselves as individuals. If I become better, like there's a wise saying, somebody said, I can't remember the person now, said if everybody sweeps the frontage of their houses, everybody sweeps, the country will be neat.
I think it was this woman from Calcutta, I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
So like you enter into a room and there's darkness. Don't complain, just light a candle. Let the guy next, light a candle and tell the guy to light.
Everywhere
by the time we are done lighting the candle, darkness, we have no place to stay.
That's how it is. So everybody should look at developing themselves. Make yourself a better person. If you are doing good already, don't say, I'm doing good already. You can do better. Even the best person can be better. I tell my students, you're scoring 92%. That's not the best you can do. Until you are getting 100, you can now say, maybe there's no room for improvement. But that's still not true. Because there's still room for improvement. So everybody should work on getting better. If everybody works on getting better, the truth is, everybody will not definitely work on it and get better. But a lot of people should work on getting better. When we work on getting better, people around us are going to see us as role models. Some, they will not ask you for anything. They will just see you that, you're doing something that makes sense. And they will learn from it. Some, they will not learn from it. Some, they will not do anything. Some, they will support you in the little way they can. So when you make yourself better, then you can look at making a better family. Maybe for those that are not married, marry somebody who is thinking about making himself better too, or herself better. You form a better couple. Then you raise children that you must be intentional. People don't raise their children with intentionality. One of the things I saw, just before I got married, I saw people that were older than me, they were married, their children, they will sit in front of the TV and take the remote, and be pressing the remote like this. You cannot do it in my house. You cannot. You can only hold the remote if I say, take that remote, press it, and I will tell you what to press. My children, when we had TV, they couldn't change it anyhow. It was the oldest one could put on TV, maybe when he was around 7, 10. And if you are not at home, they can put on TV. And it will happen that they may put it on behind you. It's possible. But when they know the rules, they're not likely to do it. And when you've brought them up with it and you don't deceive them. So people should work on themselves, get better. Work on having better couples, work on having better families. At your workplace, do exceptional job there. Don't look at the salary they are paying you. People don't like to hear this. It's more difficult for me when I'm telling my staff, but I still tell them anyway. I'll still tell you. Don't look at the salary I'm paying you. No doubt, you agreed to collect the salary, so there should be no complaint. And so, do your best on this job. If you do your best on this job, you do very well. You just imagine if an individual does well on his job and everybody in that company, they do well on their job and the company grows income, what is likely to happen to their salary? It will increase. If the income of the company increases and the salary increases, when they go to the market, what happens to their purchasing power? It increases.
It increases.
The person they are going to buy for is likely to do what? Make more money. And so we are improving the economy of the country indirectly. But people don't think they can improve the economy. So what people should do, young people should do, improve themselves. Talk is cheap and we talk too much. Let us work on ourselves. The best you can do to cause revolution, to revolt against the bad government or bad society is for you to do something better. Don't concentrate on the government. Concentrate on yourself. But people say, but you can do something for yourself. People are doing it in this country.
Dr. Olajobi, it's been fantastic having you here. Honestly, I couldn't have wished for a better guest for a maiden episode than you. Thank you for honoring our invite and thank you for creating our show. I wish you have more time because I still have a lot of questions, but unfortunately time doesn't permit. But thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And it's a wrap on our first episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification on so that subsequent episodes you get notified. Thank you for coming. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.